the Great One should stop saying that SmackDown is better than Raw.
It is. It kinda is. I get a lot of people saying that the Great One is biased towards SmackDown Live. How can it be biased about a show that is run by the same company? Dude, I'm always behind a company that produces better content. For example, 2016, SmackDown Live won. 2017, Raw won. 2018, so far, I think SmackDown Live is winning this one. And today, I'm going to tell you a couple of reasons why. Now, let me give you a structure of Raw and SmackDown. So, Raw has this. 2 hours of filler, 1 good Seth Rollins match, let's get Roman Reigns over, a wrestler compliments Roman Reigns. Lashley sisters. A lot of them. A lot of Lashley sisters, yeah, that's probably the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay, let's move on to SmackDown. Is it any better? Kinda. A good Miz TV. Filler. A very good tag team match. Cool mid-card match. And then a dream match. Especially for these couple of weeks. Like, I don't know, 4 weeks. It's been way better than Raw. And if you disagree with me, I'm perfectly okay with that. You don't need to press the dislike button and tell,
"Oh my god, the Great One, you're such an asshole."
We can all have our own opinions. Length. I don't know what to tell you, but size matters. And I'm not, I'm talking about, I'm not talking about Seth Rollins' leaked pictures, but I'm talking about a length of the show. For example, Raw sucks and SmackDown sucks. If you watch 2 hours of boring television, you leave being like, okay, that was kinda shitty, but I can deal with that. If you will watch 3 hours of boring Monday Night Raw, you won't want to watch wrestling anymore. For a couple of weeks, and believe me, that comes from experience. There are a couple of more points that I will go back to later, but basically Raw for me is so full of filler that by the end of the show, when probably a good match is supposed to happen, like Seth Rollins, I don't know, versus Kevin Owens, a very entertaining match, I'm so tired of filler that I don't care. I watch the match waiting for the show to end because the show sucked so damn bad. And lately, for me at least, SmackDown just flies by, and I think that's one of the main reasons why I really prefer SmackDown Live over Monday Night Raw. During the Ruthless Aggression era, I watched Monday Night Raw. I actually never seen SmackDown because SmackDown was not in my country. They didn't show SmackDown. So I think Raw was like 2 hours, right? In my country, it was even shorter. And you won't believe how much it sucked, but at the same time, it keeps you wanting more. And if by the end of the show, you're like, man, that was a good damn show. I wish I got like 20 minutes more. That means it's perfect. You don't need to make it longer. If you leave wanting more, that's a key to success. That's the weirdest sentence ever. Let's move on. Roster. Of course, this is just a personal preference. Some of you may like Raw's roster better. Some of you may like SmackDown Live's roster better. But when I think about SmackDown Live's roster, I see so many potential dream matches that Raw doesn't really have. You know, we've seen Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, we've seen Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns, we've seen Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins, we've seen Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns and all of that sorts of stuff. We never seen Jeff Hardy versus Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe versus Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton versus Samoa Joe, and the list goes on and on. Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura. If I would play like WWE 2K18, 19, whatever the case may be, SmackDown Live has the roster that I would probably choose for my show. You know, most of the superstars like Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Samoa Joe, many other like The Miz, I would pick these guys. Not to take anything away from Monday Night Raw. You have Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, you have Braun Strowman. But just like I've said, it's probably just personal preference, but let me know in the comments below. Do you agree with the thought that SmackDown Live has a better roster? I'm not quite sure. Let me know how you swing in the roster ways. Booking. So when I'm talking about booking, I'm mostly talking about rivalries and structure of the show. For example, lately on SmackDown Live we have dream matches. Every show lately ends with a dream match. To name a few, Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan versus Rusev, Daniel Bryan versus Jeff Hardy, Daniel Bryan versus Samoa Joe, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. While on Monday Night Raw, most of the time you get an 8-man or 8-women tag team match. Sorry WWE, this is just screams laziness. Pure fucking laziness. It's so lazy to the point where Shawn Michaels' lazy eye is jealous. Again, when it comes to booking, you have a bunch of rivalries, a bunch of stories on SmackDown Live when you think about it. Rusev is trying to climb up the ladder while defeating Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is trying to get back into the wrestling shape, losing, getting back on the horse. You have AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. You have Samoa Joe being a dominant guy who doesn't care. He just wants the WWE Championship. The Miz is finally saying that the Intercontinental Championship is like not that important to me. I want the WWE title. Most of major players on SmackDown Live have something to do, even in a shorter show, while on Raw, all I know is Lesnar versus Reigns, and Jesus Christ, that's about it. What is Seth Rollins actually doing? What is Finn Balor actually doing? What is Braun Strowman doing? Maybe they have rivalries, but they either don't or it's that fucking unmemorable. I'm not quite sure. I really don't know. How can you have a 3-hour show and the booking is so lazy you don't even have rivalries? The show is just full of filler. And when I'm talking about booking, just like I've said, on SmackDown we see fresh matches. Of course, if they will run out of it, maybe they will become more creative. But on Raw, I'm literally telling you, at least three matches from the previous show went into the next show. And these matches were like not even interesting in the first place, and they did it again. I don't know what's happening with Raw, but it's a worse show. It is a worse show in my opinion. Forced push. We can talk about Roman Reigns' push for hours and hours and hours. You guys know the deal, I know the deal, and it's been talked about like for 4 years. If it didn't work 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, a year ago, it's not gonna work now, WWE. Please reconsider this terrible push. This formula of having only one guy on the top is old. It doesn't work like that anymore. On SmackDown Live, you really don't have that. You have AJ Styles as the main guy, you have Daniel Bryan as another main guy. You know, and Randy Orton, for example, babyfaces that are not being pushed down your throat. AJ Styles is a WWE champion for a lot of months right now, but he's the best wrestler of SmackDown Live. He's not pushed to the moon to the point where it must be AJ's hair, kinda. He looks like a chick. He's not pushed to the point where he cannot lose clean, and that's kind of the issue with Roman Reigns. Also, during the show you hear these subtle compliments of Roman Reigns, you know, people trying to get the guy over, like Seth Rollins. People like Seth Rollins, let's make Seth Rollins say that Roman Reigns is the beast or something. I know it's a script, but it also sounds very, very hypocritical when Roman Reigns is saying stuff like, I'm tired of this politics, when we all know that's the case with him. You know, there are like, I don't know, 100 people on the roster. He's the guy who's like being the most. You get the deal, guys. Does he I want to watch a wrestling show where I can enjoy matches and storylines. I don't want to watch 3 hours of experiment of getting the guy over. I don't care. I really don't. Main event. What I'm mostly talking about is the Universal Championship and WWE Championship. I said it multiple times, but here's the difference between the WWE title and the red WWE title, period of blood, whatever. I love that joke, by the way. WWE Championship has potential rivalries like AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, and with Randy Orton, with Daniel Bryan, with Rusev, with pretty much everyone on the roster. You see, Miz, by the way, finally Miz. Universal Championship only has Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. You may say Samoa Joe was fighting Brock Lesnar or Braun Strowman was fighting Brock Lesnar. Here's the thing, they only fought Brock Lesnar because they would not kick out of any F5s, and at WrestleMania, Roman Reigns kicks out of 5. You know, F5s, 5 F5s. It's just so unrealistic and boring, no one cares. If at least it would be actually an entertaining rivalry, I would be like, you know what, I don't care, but the storyline is pretty damn good. I'm gonna just enjoy it for what it is. But it sucks, the storyline is bad. Not only that, the matches are complete garbage. It's like 2K14, you pick infinite finishers and you see 5 spears, 5 F5s. At this point, finisher means shit to me. It doesn't mean anything at all. They managed to make the main title of Monday Night Raw into a bathroom break. It's actually what it is at this point. But when The Miz was on Raw, it was really shocking how this guy is not chasing the Universal Championship. So when he moved to SmackDown, you're like, okay, SmackDown is a better show, so there is a chance for him to win that WWE Championship. We all know that Universal Championship is only for 2 guys. And that sucks when you have Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman on the roster, Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler. The only reason all of these guys are not fighting for championship is because we need that Roman Reigns push. That's just the truth. You know, I don't hate the guy. I don't hate Roman Reigns. But that's basically what it is. So these are the reasons why I think that SmackDown Live is actually better. A lot of you were asking these kind of questions. Why do you think like that? How dare you say that? Well, this is just my opinion. If you think differently, it's completely fine and I'm alright with that. Let me know if you think that Raw is better. I want you to comment 5, 4, 3, 2 reasons in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button, subscribe if you haven't, make sure to support me on Patreon if you can, make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you so much for your support. I'm back on this channel. I took a little break. I really needed it, so hopefully it will be alright. Make sure to subscribe to my second channel where I post non-wrestling stuff. Really cool shit right here. The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.